I'm Ross. I am, to my surprise, running a game of Gamma World, 7th edition, not 4th edition, as we've identified. It sounds like everyone got very excited and rushed off and created multiple characters and things for this. So clearly you all at least have some idea what you're doing, and and I'm sure we can go through, and if there are questions about how some of the character creation rules work, and or what all these weird numbers are supposed to be for on your character sheets, we can come to that in a bit. Right, since you all were A, so excited about creating characters, and B, resisting the urge to look at each other's characters, do we want to do character introductions?
I have failed to resist. One. Today I broke down and looked.
I broke down immediately. Oh, you peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Oh. I have no self-control either. But I also don't know which of the many ones some of you have created you're planning to use. So if people would like to introduce their characters that they have created, as much or as little information as you have made up for that is fine. Going across my screen, Helma, would you like to go first? Which of your many creations are you hoping would be venturing out into the apocalyptic waste of Gamma World?
Probably the first one, because that's the only one that may be correct and complete, or at least kind of.
Mm-hmm. If they're not complete, that's not a problem. We, look at the rules and things and filling gaps and stuff like that. In advance of next week, that's fine. Whichever one you are most inspired by, or indeed change your mind later on.
So I've decided to she, because that's easiest for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the primary origin is doppelganger, and the secondary is telekinetic, which should be good for a lot of fun. And ability scores are pretty decent, with the exception of charisma, which is a measly 4. Oh, and constitution as always. So socially inept. Unfortunately, when I read this, I can't see faces, but I assume at least Ron is smiling all over his.
Well, I like that. I am the strangely enough, anyone viewing the video is now enjoying themselves because I was indeed smirking away. But yes, busted.
Otherwise, she's hyper intelligent with a combination of origins, and actually has a really high what's it called? Skill in mechanics. So I'm really wondering what I'm going to make out of her in the end. So
does she look like a human person, or like some sort of mutated animal, or something even weirder than that?
As a doppelganger, I understood that she's humanoid, basically human, but has a really interesting skin hue. It says midnight blue, which I really like. So I decided she'll have orange hair.
Okay.
The one thing that gives her origin away may be that she leaves some kind of echoes when she's moving. Oh, and the telekinetic makes things around her moving without her really intending it every now and then. So I'm not really sure about her. She seems a lot like me, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a whole bunch of gear that's completely useless.
Right.
I made it without a draft animal and a generator put on a sad wagon that probably sits somewhere in nowhere. And a little bit technical stuff, like a cell phone that I can't probably use because nobody else has
Ah,
one.
but that's a cool thing, though. I mean, that's
Yeah, it is actually. Anything technical, probably I can pick apart and make something new of
Yeah.
with that mechanical skill.
right.
Because there's also a remote control, which makes me really eager if I can get that going. There's a lot of fun to have. And a DVD player.
Yeah.
Oh, and the only one practical thing is a lantern.
I like that the telekinetic character has a remote control.
Right.
Yes, right?
Well, that's right. You know, you can.
I mean, there are
Nick?
so many possibilities to mess things up. That's not. I mean, it's completely great. But I'm a little bit worried that she will not live long. So we'll see.
I think you're all being, well, I would say you're all being unnecessarily paranoid, except that the fact you've created loads of characters does reduce my motivation not to just throw in all the scary level 7
Hold
monsters.
on.
Oh, don't
thing.
worry. I've died before.
That's right. Helma has been through the gate,
Ah.
the player character gate. So, I can go next.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good.
have apparently in the minority and choosing to make only one character for some reason.
High five.
Just decided not to do more yet. And this character came out to be seismic and exploding. So what I did was I rolled a d6 to see whether I would use the core rules or the supplement. And then I got the core, so I got seismic. Then I did that again, rolling d6 again to see which book. And then I got the supplement. And then that gave me exploding. And I was kind of amazed at just how well that came together. I mean, obviously, the character is basically a grenade. And so I have, upon looking at it, I have decided, and looking at what it tells me that I'm like, I have decided that this character looks like a statue of a not very big and muscular, so it's not like the Thing or some kind of great big rock golem or something. It's more like a kind of a crude or at least simple statue of a person, more of an appearance. Let's see, there we go, right. And dull red in color, so made of some sort of rocky sculpted stone, dull red in color, very simple, almost crude anatomical designations, right? So it actually looks like somebody actually kind of tried to make him. Let's see what else. And like with eyes that actually literally flame every so often. So I have some notions on what he's like, and I'll be happy to move into that during play itself. But very much, some sort of elemental post-apocalyptic being, and quite likely not actually human in origin at all. So.
Cool. Has he got any fun and exciting stuff? Because
As far as the stuff I rolled, for some reason,
surprisingly,
I do not know why,
characterful.
but this character is surprisingly vehicular.
Okay.
I have nothing but modes of transport for a wide variety of environments, which is exactly one thing I had no interest in this character having. So I'm trying to come up with some reason why he has these things or access to them, or maybe he's just in a place with a lot of them and doesn't care about them at all.
Okay.
Who knows? There was something of a joke among us at one point that we should all just have our characters know each other and we live in a junkyard because of all of these vehicles sitting around. But I don't think we need to justify anything that closely. But we do end up with a lot of wagons, keel boats,
I do have a question about your character, Ron.
Yeah.
Does he wear any clothes, or
No,
is he
no.
just-
The character that I was going to say, the character looks just like this kind of well-proportioned, slim male statue, and there's no hair or anything, right? It's just hairless. It looks more like a statue than a person, and the various body details are sort of like artistically there, so he is anatomically correct, but it is very much like sort of a crude representation on a statue, or a basic representation on a statue rather than an actual anatomical part. So
Okay,
that's the way it is.
because of course everyone's getting a portrait.
Very
You
exciting. Yes.
have a way of escaping this.
Oh.
warn you.
Helma, does your character have like big bulgy veiny forehead or anything, being super smart and telekinetic and reality warping and stuff like that? I mean,
No idea.
okay. I was just wondering
I'm
about that.
open. I'm open for everything.
Okay.
So far, I've only had some basic ideas.
Okay. Would anybody like to follow up on bulging foreheads or anything else? I described their character.
Bulging foreheads and anatomically correct statues.
I'm not
see,
sure how you
I
follow
see
that.
we're on the right track already.
Oh wait, I've decided she's gonna be dressed.
Oh, fair.
Oh damn! I have to redraw it now.
No, that's artist.
sorry.
Right,
I
right.
just got naked.
Kidding.
That's right. You
Just kidding.
just played a mostly naked character for what, 21 or 17 sessions or something. So
With
Hey,
you?
Hmm?
With you?
no, that Helma just did that.
Oh,
You'd
okay.
think you'd be able to find clothes in 21 sessions.
No,
Find a pair of pants.
It's impractical if you're a shapeshifter.
right.
Oh,
Turn
okay.
into snakes. Can't.
Okay. I'll go next because
Okay.
So my character is I rolled I rolled up 3, but I'm gonna do the first one. Although I kind of love all of them.
Mhm.
They're all so weird. So the first one I rolled up Doppelganger for my primary.
Right. We're playing with Sybil. All these different versions of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All over.
Doppelganger, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I rolled up Felinoid for secondary. So I'm like, okay. And I'm reading, I'm like, okay, Doppelganger, so you can turn into other people. But it's like, no. It's got this other stuff going on too.
It duplicates, right?
So you can make duplicates. You can, like, you have the whole, like, you look like you're in one place, but you're in another. And I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's a displacer beast from D&D.
Yes, it is.
I'm a felinoid doppelganger. I'm a humanoid displacer beast.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I was like, that's easy.
Where'd
I
that
actually
slashing
attached-
attack
yeah.
come from? Was that like in one of the origins?
That's the felinoid. Yeah.
Right. So then you said you were going to like spitball tentacles that do the slashing.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah. At first I was like, well, they'll just be for show.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, no, that can be the slashing attack.
Right.
So
It's like perfect. It's like right out of the D&D book.
So basically it's imagine a humanoid panther with extra arms, and although I don't think my character has extra arms. I think it's just got 2 arms and 2 legs and a tail. And then it's got these tentacles coming out of its shoulder blades that end in these big thorny hooked pads like a giant squid. My charisma is really good. My strength is my low stat. So I'm not very strong. I'm kind of a scrawny mutant. So I'm probably like a weird mutant of my clan of cat people. And they're like, what is up with those tentacles?
Mm-hmm.
Gross. And so they didn't really feed me because they were like, maybe he'll just die and we don't have to deal with him. But I didn't die.
But you ended up being kind of a cute kitty, too.
But I'm cute, yeah, because
Yeah,
I have high
yeah.
charisma. I'm like,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah.
You end up being cute. This is
I'm
hilarious. Yeah.
I mean, you can't Google bipedal displacer beast and find not hot, weird animal creatures.
Yes. Well,
Luckily, they all had clothes on for the most part. So I have Nina armor, apparently, because I can't spell. So he wears ninja armor and carries a ninja sword and throwing stars, because that's awesome. And also a canoe. I guess probably sleeps under it to get out of the rain.